morning, everyone. This morning I wanted to start out by just showing some simple writing activities that can be very fruitful and don't take a lot of prep or money or anything like that to do. So the first thing is the idea of gratitude journals. So this is really simple. You could make it more beautiful if you wanted by decorating them, or you could just keep them simple like we have, or you could even just... Is that right, Nefaya? Is that right? Or you could even just use like scraps of paper or whatever you have. So this isn't going to cost you anything, and you can make up little gratitude journals. And we just do ours by starting off the morning with writing down the date and 3 things that my children are thankful for. This is just an example of mine today. I do it as well, and I think that like in a time where there's a lot of anxiety right now, gratitude journaling is a very good practice and a good way to start your days, like taking note of the things that you do have and that you are thankful for. And you can add little encouragements, little affirmations or scriptures or prayers if you want, or you can just keep it simple with 3 things that you're thankful for. If your children aren't able to write it down themselves yet, this one's Elijah's. If they're not old enough to write it down themselves, that's okay. You can just get them in like a gratitude circle to express their ideas, and you can record it for them. You can write it down and they can watch you. And basically that just helps frame their mind for resiliency and being thankful and start off in a good place. And it gives value to their thoughts, that their thoughts are important and that you can write them down and they can watch you do that, so our thoughts can be conveyed into print, into writing. So that shouldn't be complicated. You can totally do that. Start off your day with a gratitude journal with your children or a gratitude circle. And then another activity, hello little Miss Noisy. Another activity would be nature journaling. So I kind of got this idea from Charlotte Mason homeschooling. So that's a special method of homeschooling, and she emphasizes nature journals. And this is kind of like a book that's an example of nature journaling, The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. But if you look on Pinterest or on the computer, you would find all kinds of examples of nature journals. Sorry, the dust cover's on it wrong, of course. So basically you write down the date or the month, and you can do copy work of like facts about nature that you find interesting, or poems about nature, and drawings of the things that you see. And this is like really good science lesson in a very natural and authentic and organic way. So even if you don't leave your own property, you can do this right from your own yard, or you can go on a little walk in your neighborhood and just take note of the things that you see. Just calm down, take a nice walk, and take your time. And like, do you see any robins? Do you hear any birds? Can you identify any of their calls? Do you see any buds on the trees? Do you see any sprouts? What color is the grass? Do you see any bugs? Things like that. And get your children interested in it. Just don't force it. Just like be interested yourself and model that curiosity, and then follow their leads of what they're interested in. And this, of course, is an adult doing it, so it's a little bit more complicated. But you can help your child if they want you to. If they want you to write down their ideas, you can do that. Or if they want you to help them with the drawing, you can do that. Or if they don't want you to help at all, that's okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to correct them. Please don't correct them, just let them enjoy the process of it. And this would be a beautiful keepsake of the time that you had together and the things that you could do. So we found with like nature journaling that it's a good starting point for a lot of research. So we look outside, we find something that we're interested in, we do a nature journal of it, and then we try to find answers that we have to questions. This one is for March. And it is helpful if you have books around that children can like tie into it and look things up from, or examples that you can give them. There doesn't have to be just like the example. It's not about the product, it's about the process of doing this together, but it might just give them some inspiration if you wish. So that's just kind of like an example. And you could print off some spring poems and then have your child copy down some lines, or you could ask them if you could have their permission to copy down some lines in their book of poetry if they aren't able to do it themselves yet. So that was the older version, and then I really love these books by Julia Rothman, and it is called Nature Anatomy, The Curious Parts and Pieces of the Natural World. And actually, you could make a lot of lessons from this book. It's absolutely beautiful and very interesting. So you could kind of use this as a spine and create like units and activities to go with it if your children are interested. Or you could just look things up. So say if they really are interested in what they found in the ground, or they're really interested in rabbits right now, or birds, or rocks, you could just use this for additional information to supplement and kind of add to your nature journal and just give them some more inspiration.